Hi, this is Jen Mays. I thought I'd just show you what the Schoology app looks like on my iPad because if I'm going to use an app, it's usually going to be on my iPad. I try and keep my personal cell phone a school-free zone, although that doesn't always work out. But I try, I do. So you can see that the content is identical. Christopher Anderson in the Flipped Classroom sent me a message, and everybody else who's in the Flipped Classrooms group on Schoology. And then all my other groups, they show up just like normal. But I don't have my calendar off to the side like I do in my computer. I have calendar, upcoming things and reminders and all that good stuff. And in my Schoology app, I don't have those things. But if I click on this little, we call this the sandwich menu because it has three lines, two slices of bread and something in between. Anyway, if I click on that menu, I can see all that stuff. It just doesn't automatically sit there on the side of my screen. In the computer side of things, you'll notice that all of the menu tabs are accessible from the top, and on the iPad, they're here on the side. And if I click into my resources, which is where I spend most of my time in Schoology, and I want to add, say, a question to my chemistry bank, and add a question bank for chemistry, that's a lot easier for me to do on a computer than it would be on the iPad. So here's that same workflow, resources, and then here's my chemistry resources, and I want to add a question bank. That's not an option here. So I can't really build out my question bank, and I use that quite a lot because all of my quizzes are built using random questions stolen from the categories. That way all of my students who are taking that quiz get an automatic retake already built in for them if they needed it. So let me show you. See all my random question sets. This one is asking questions about the organization of the periodic table. And then down here I have questions about periodic trends and things like that. And I can't build tests over here on my iPad, so that's kind of lame. Basically, if I'm using my iPad for Schoology, it's because I'm showing a student something that I wanted them to look at in their Schoology side of things. So I click around while they click around. And sometimes a student sends me a message and my computer's not with me or not easy to get to at the moment. Then I might use the app for that just to be able to respond to their message sooner. But I can also do that from my phone. But like I said, I like to have boundaries in my life, and I don't like using my phone for school things because it's my personal private device and my school doesn't need to be on it. I also wanted to point out that Google Classroom looks a little bit different on the computer than it does on an iPad. So once in a while I have been airplaying from my iPad and thought, oh, I'll just show them real quick what this looks like. And then it doesn't turn out the way I want because for one thing, my iPad is in German and my chemistry students don't often speak German, so that's kind of awkward for them. And then accessing, like, let's see, a report. Where's the lab report? Oh, flame test lab. The workflow for this is a little bit different, and I didn't even know it until I tried to show a student how to add her lab report to this assignment. So normally a student is able to create a doc from within the Google Classroom assignment, and on the iPad there just wasn't a way to do that. So that was really weird. I didn't realize that that was a thing. I can attach something that I've already created, but I can't like create a doc from here. I didn't realize that that wouldn't work on the iPad the way I thought it might. And of course, since my iPad, I'm showing you my student account rather than my teacher account, you also have the opportunity to create things from this student side. On the teacher side, it doesn't give me the option to create a doc because I'm not the student who's handing in work. So let's see. Here's my student account. Let's see the buttons for that. The teacher side and the student side look different enough that I asked my administrators to create a student account for me just so I could make sure everything was working right. Yeah, so I can create a doc from the assignment and it will automatically have the title that I need it to have. Oh, look, I already created one here so I could show them how to add a picture to their document. There's a picture of me, because what else would you want in your lab report but a picture of your teacher? So that's a little quick comparison of apps versus computer. I think apps have their place, but I think if you're going to do typing and writing assignments, then that's not a good place for an app to replace the computer. Thanks for listening.